Ollie on Stage by Keith Brockett, illustrated by Ashley King. Big Ollie the Ogre met up with his friends at the theater one bright afternoon. Upon its marquee, written as big as could be, they read "Talent Show, coming here soon." A sign on the wall said, "Performers come all, don't be shy, put your skills to the test. Take part in our talent show, win the grand prize if the audience thinks you're the best." "I'm dying to get up on stage," Ollie said, "and now look, this is it. Here's my chance." His friend said, "But Ollie, you've never performed. Can you sing? Can you act? Can you dance?" "Well, no," he replied, "so I'll have to learn fast." But what talents had he to display? Like all ogres, he had incredible strength. Would it help him or get in his way? "I wish I could dance like the leprechaun Lou. He's a favorite with most any crowd. Old Lou always tap danced in top hat and tails, and the cheers would go rowdy and loud." So Ollie bought tap shoes and went to a class, and he worked himself ragged and sore. But try as he might, he just clumsily stomped, and at last he crashed right through the floor. His big ogre feet were too heavy to tap. He considered what else he might do. He knew his friend Benny would sing in the show. Ollie asked him, "May I join in too?" "Of course," Benny said, "a duet will be fun." But when Ollie attempted to sing, he bellowed so loudly and sharply off key, Benny's eardrums soon started to ring. So singing was out, Ollie thought. How about a mysterious magic display? Pull rabbits from hats and make doves disappear, and from nowhere I'll pluck a bouquet. He put on a top hat and long flowing cape, and he waved a black wand in the air. But whoops, his thick fingers just snapped it in two, causing sparks that ignited his hair. He then tried to act out a scene from a play, but at least half his lines he'd forget. He soon became angry and lost all control, and in tantrums he tore down the set. He begged his friend Sylvie to teach him ballet. "Well, of course I will, Ollie," she said. "A grand ballerina must have a strong partner to lift her up over his head." So Ollie said, "Thank you, let's start right away," and he picked Sylvie up off from the floor. He tossed her so high that she didn't come down for at least half an hour or more. Poor Sylvie exclaimed, "You don't know your own strength. I'm afraid I can't partner with you." Which left Ollie thinking, "My strength is a curse that will ruin whatever I do." Dejected, disheartened, he ran off the stage with his mind in a terrible stew. He wanted to throw things and cry out and scream, for his dream, it seemed, couldn't come true. And then he just lost it. He rampaged around, throwing boulders and trees in the air. His friends yelled, "Look out!" as things crashed all about. He was giving them all a real scare. "Oh no," Benny cried. A tree Ollie had tossed was about to crash down on Ben's head. It jerked Ollie back to his senses at last when he saw his friend cringing in dread. "Good heavens!" gasped Ollie. "Oh, what have I done?" And he raced to save Ben from the tree. He caught it, but then he had to toss it back up so his hands could thereafter be free. To catch a huge rock that was falling toward Lou, which he then had to toss up in turn. To catch the same tree falling back upon Ben. Very quickly he started to learn that, hey, this is fun. I could do this all day. I'm enjoying this catch and toss game. His friends were amazed. Benny said, "Ollie, wow, this just might be your ticket to fame." So when the red curtain went up for the show, Ollie gave them a juggling routine, an act so sensational that everyone gasped, for it wasn't like any they'd seen. He juggled big boulders and blocks of cement, things that no one else could ever lift. Truck motors and tree stumps, he tossed them with ease and a skill that was nimble and swift. The audience loved it. They chanted his name. "Ollie wins! He's the best!" they all cried. They gave him the first prize, but it couldn't compare to his wonderful feeling of pride. And then Ollie's friends wanted in on his act. As a team, they performed near and far, and circuses Ollie now juggles his friends. With their help, he's become a big star.